Everyone. Right after that, you get right into the business. It's my honor to introduce Shoshana Chatfield, a native of Garden Grove, California, and a graduate of Boston University. Rear Admiral Chatfield was commissioned in 1988 and earned her wings of gold in 1989. She attended the Kennedy School of Government, received a Master's of Public Administration from Harvard University and a Doctorate of Education from the University of San Diego. A career helicopter pilot, she served in numerous helicopter combat support squadrons before making the move to helicopter sea combat community. Admiral Chatfield served as commanding officer of HC-5 and the first commanding officer of HSC-25. She subsequently commanded a joint provincial reconstruction team in Farah Province, Afghanistan, and was the Type Wing Commander of HSC Wing, U.S. Pacific Fleet. Prior to reporting to Newport, Admiral Chatfield commanded Joint Region Marianas. Admiral Chatfield became the 57th President of the U.S. Naval War College in August 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? All right, awesome. But it's great to be here and to see this room so full of people. It's magnificent. I am delighted to welcome you here to the United States Naval War College. Many of you are alumni, so welcome back. I'd like to acknowledge our keynote speakers that are here today, Brigadier General Chris Inglis, U.S. Senator Jack Reed, and Admiral Harry Harris. Thank you very much for the time that you will be here on campus. And our distinguished panelists, especially Major General Earl Matthews, Admiral Scott Swift, and the Honorable Bing West, and many of our faculty who will also participate on panels. To our CNO distinguished fellows who are often in the audience, thank you for being here. Admiral Guillermo Barrera, Admiral Nirmal Verma, and Admiral Lars Asanas. And now especially to the Naval War College Foundation leadership, the Board of Trustees, especially Naval War College Foundation Chairman Philip Bilden and National Events Committee Chairman Scott DePasquale for assisting and inviting many key guest speakers and panelists. A warm welcome to all who comprise the Naval War College Foundation trustees and members for being here, for participating in such a prestigious symposium, and for all of the work that has been done by CEO George Lang and staff here every day to support our programs. Thank you. I would like to introduce our new provost. Many of you met him last night, but if we could have Dr. Stephen Mariano please stand. Dr. Mariano was recently the Dean of NATO's Defense College in Rome, and he has a long history of supporting PME here in the United States, a retired Army colonel. We are very fortunate to have him here at the Naval War College. He arrived on August 1st. I'd like to also give a shout out to our deans and chairs and our faculty and alumni. So let me just say what we're doing at the Naval War College. I've now started my 4th year, which seems just incredible to me to be in a dream job that long and to be able to have been here pre-COVID, through COVID, and now coming out of COVID, and to see the incredible ability and talent of our faculty and staff. Like every institution of higher education across America, our faculty and staff pivoted in just a matter of weeks. The right investments had been made prior to COVID to establish a teaching center of excellence and our College of Distance Education to have a right learning management platform for us to be able to transition within a matter of weeks. It was difficult. It took a lot of energy. It is very hard to go from teaching a residential program to teaching a fully virtual program. It's a different style of instruction, and people had to learn that. And then we had to undo it a year and a half later. Now, what that did for us was it gave us the ability to move seamlessly between residential, hybrid, and fully virtual. And that is a tool that we needed and were propelled into from COVID. So if we grumble a lot about COVID, save one small piece of gratitude for COVID, for moving institutions of higher education, and in particular this institution of higher education, along a continuum into technology to see how much demand there is for our content and our faculty research. In an age where information is often misleading or is often targeted to influence, our brand of research and our content is highly trusted in the United States and internationally. And having a platform to push that content and that research out grew from our COVID experience. And I am grateful for that, and I am grateful for the technological support that came from the Naval War College Foundation. Today's program focuses on great power competition. What does it mean to have a potential adversary that has a great capability and has a growing technological ability to match or exceed certain portions of our defensive capability? It's worth studying. And yet, it's also worth looking historically at how the United States has handled that in the past. I often am advised that we should put more warfighting into the Naval War College. And yet we have a great balance in a program that contains a focus on our traditional educational study of historical events that inform our decision makers' approach to national security. And we also have a program that has the warfighting in the Naval War College through our Joint Maritime and Joint Military Operations courses. Now, we are looking at wargaming across our curriculum. The Navy has a new program called Get Real, Get Better. What that means is the Navy is promoting becoming a learning institution. And so we are looking at wargaming as one of our critical areas and enablers of our program. Where are we doing wargaming or gaming in our curriculum now and in our wargaming center? Where might we make the right kinds of investments to propel ourselves forward within the next 5 years to give our students a richer learning experience and to allow them to test concepts and theories that they're learning versus the national security environment today? And that effort, that cross-college effort, is being led by retired Vice Admiral Bruce Lindsay. And that report that will come out will inform our way forward. Last year, we were asked by the commander of U.S. Fleet Forces Command and the commander of U.S. Strategic Command to develop a center and a capability to examine strategic deterrence. Every year we conduct a war game on strategic deterrence and escalation for the commander of U.S. Strategic Command. But we did not have a center looking specifically at that subject matter. Now, it's hard to create something right in the middle of a stream when you can't budget for it. And so we were able, with the help of the Naval War College Foundation, to do two important and consequential things last year. The first was to have a 2-day conference. The first day was an academic leveling conference, and the second day was to bring the plans and policies, generals and admirals from the combatant commands to Newport to do a tabletop exercise related to deterrence. So although we've put in a budget request for 2024, we will continue to do all the things that we can to build out a center for strategic deterrence here at the Naval War College. A second area of focus for us has been in our international programs. We have our traditional programs that have been in place since 1956. And last night, I was at the 66th community-supported clam bake event for our Naval Command College. This is 50 or so international military students who are on campus every year, who come from countries across the globe to study here in Newport. And those international military students were welcomed by the community, by Rocky Kempenaar, in a tradition that his father had started in 1956. It's so wonderful to be completely supported by the community and to have that level of attendance from elected officials and members of the community from Middletown and Newport. So a fantastic event, but that program can be supported more easily by larger navies. And some of the smaller and coastal nations were not able to send participants to our Naval Command College and our Naval Staff College. And so we've developed a program and piloted it this last year called the Maritime Governance Staff Officers Course. And that 6-month course will be offered twice in 2023 calendar year. And they will be offered in perpetuity. It's a smaller course, a shorter period of time, and those officers that come from smaller nations who could not afford to give them up for such a long period of time, or who may wish to study areas of governance that are not highlighted and a focus of our longer program, will now be here. We'll have 2 courses of up to 35 officers per year. We were asked by the Secretary of Defense to grow our capability, to reach out to our partners, and to make these relationships enduring relationships that can be counted on in times of peace and in times of conflict. And so we've been able to respond to that by creating this course. In our strategic plan, we've also proposed the creation of an international forum for education and hybrid conferencing. And I'm starting to become quite optimistic that the Navy is thinking that this is going to be very helpful. And I've gotten some information recently that in '24, there may be funds available for us to bring down the 2 buildings that are adjacent to our Connolly Hall. So we have 2 brick buildings over there that occupy a really nice piece of land, just the perfect site for a future international forum for education and hybrid conferencing to curate and hold these programs that we have here in our continuum of international military officer education, from IMSOC, our staff officers course, through the Staff College and Command College, our new Maritime Governance and Security course, and our flag level training. In advance of that, everything that we can do physically, we can also do virtually. And so we are expanding the way that we reach out to partner navies. And just last week, we had one of our professors, Professor Wilson, did a hybrid course with our Peruvian partner institution in Lima. The Lima Naval War College commander is a graduate of the Naval War College. And he asked, could we do something that allowed their students to participate in education that is taught in English? They have a aspirational goal of having every officer bilingual. And so we were able to connect our lecture to their lecture hall, and our US students were able to participate with the Peruvian students and to both ask questions in that environment, which is a real win, and it's a way for us to expand our reach again into the international sphere and to promote relationships that last between our US rising leaders and our international partners and their rising leaders. This year, at the start of the school year, I asked how many of our students had served in either Iraq or Afghanistan. And it was a majority of the students who raised their hands. We have a student body in residence who are operators who have been at the forefront of our 20 years of warfighting experience. But yet that experience requires a change in focus from counterinsurgency and combating violent extremism to great power competition. This is not the first time that the United States has faced such an interwar period. And those innovations come mostly from the younger generation. They are the ones who should be working across service, across the interagency, and across our joint and combined force to integrate and innovate. Newport is the place where that starts and where our programs allow those relationships to continue. I want to conclude by talking about our impressive outreach that we do on behalf of the Navy and the nation. Our College of Maritime Operational Warfare just this year has been requested to support the commander of 6th Fleet to augment their center. And what that does for us is it allows us to see where our fleets are innovating. Last year, our College of Maritime Operational Warfare sent participants to our large-scale exercise. It's very important to move from the academic and doctrine to the real world and back. And having this cadre of retired military professionals and scholars in a college that focuses primarily on operational level of warfare enriches our program in the totality because they are able to bring that current knowledge back into our faculty and renew our faculty in what is happening in the practice. So I want to, as I go into what I'm certain is my final year here at the Naval War College, I do want to report to you that the Naval War College is a strong program with a strong reputation that is adapting and innovating in the current environment, and that the Naval War College is grateful to this wonderful body of trustees, members, and alumni who are here today. Thank you so much for the rich support that you have given us in the past, and that this year is affecting our faculty development and our student experience more than ever. Thank you.
I understand the microphone was cutting out a little bit, so I'll shift and recommend perhaps our moderators and speakers use this podium as well. Thank you, Admiral Chatfield, for your leadership, your vision, and your continued support.